What if Jonathan Kuminga's next move is the invisible fissure rocking the Warriors' foundation quiet now, but unstoppable and seething beneath the gleaming surface of Chase Center? Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where raw truth collide with splashier passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. The whispers have stretched long and wide across the Bay all off-season. Jonathan Kuminga's future with the Warriors is no longer a quiet subplot, but a swirling tempest of negotiations, unmet expectations, and looming trade machinations that could redefine not just his path, but Golden State's doorway into the next chapter. Drafted back in 2021 as a raw, electrifying talent with the promise of a star-shaped future, Kuminga's flashes of brilliance have been undeniable, yet the 22-year-old has struggled to cement himself as a reliable starter amid the Warriors' star-studded hierarchy. Last season gave him fleeting tastes of expanded roles, stepping up during injury crises, seizing moments from the bench, but as Steve Kerr's playoff rotations unfolded, Kuminga found himself benched through pivotal games against the Houston Rockets, only to re-emerge as a sudden force in the gritty second-round clash with Minnesota, where he exploded for a career-defining 30 points in Game 3 off the Pine, a tantalizing glimpse of what could be unleashed when fully trusted. But since the final buzzer marked the off-season's dawn, a storm of rumors and strategic chess moves has enveloped Kuminga and the Warriors. Sacramento Kings, hungry for wing talent and believing Kuminga the key piece for their rebuild, surface. First with offers quickly shut down by Golden State, whose front office whispered a hard no unless their price tag of a first-round pick was met. This wasn't just a shot across the bow. It was a declaration that Kuminga remains in the crosshairs, but not without premium compensation. However, the intrigue deepened as contract talks unfolded amid the 2025 Summer League haze in Las Vegas, with multiple sources pointing to ongoing negotiations between Kuminga's camp helmet by agent Aaron Turner and the Warriors brass. The reports have painted a portrait of a tug-of-war where Kuminga's ambitions to secure a contract averaging $25 million annually clash with Golden State's reluctance to commit that kind of long-term capital without recouping first-round draft assets in return. This financial standoff layers a complex calculus on top of on-court potential and team chemistry, a synthesis of value and risk that could fracture or forge. And just when we thought the story was locked in a Bay versus Sacramento deadlock, the plot swerved westward to the sun-soaked horizons of Phoenix fresh off, unraveling the Bradley Beal era via buyout. The Suns have emerged as fresh suitors, expressing exploratory interest in a Kuminga sign-and-trade move that, while tantalizing, on paper, is rife with practical hurdles. Phoenix's cap flexibility, while improved, may not align with Golden State's demanding package of draft capital or player assets, creating an intricate puzzle where admiration for Kuminga's athleticism confronts the hard economics of trade value. Inside whispers suggest the Suns' affection for Kuminga spans seasons, dating back to trade talks involving Kevin Durant's potential reacquisition, a strategic tango that underscored how Kuminga has long been a coveted piece in the Western Conference shuffle. The Dubs brass, fans, and analysts alike are left spinning through the what-ifs. Is Kuminga viewed as an untapped diamond still being scrutinized with a scalpel, or is the clock ticking on his place within the Warriors' winning blueprint? Could these drawn-out contract talks be the simmering pressure release before an explosive sign-and-trade deal that shakes the foundations of the Splash era? Conversely, is Golden State's stance a calculated gambit to not just keep Kuminga, but leverage his rising star power for assets that reignite their championship juggernaut? These questions reach deeper than dollars and draft picks. They touch on legacy, ambition, and the intricate balance of loyalty and business that defines professional basketball's merciless landscape. Remembering the "we believe" grit that ignited a city's dream and the dynasty's peak. Moments with Curry's blazing threes and Draymond's defensive mind melds. Kuminga's crossroads feels monumental, a bridge between memories cherished and futures uncertain. With Melo Moody, Looney, and Clay weaving their own stories, Where does Kuminga's chapter land? And what does this mean for a core that has seen triumph and heartbreak, but remains hungry for relevance in the shifting sands of the Western Conference? The tension mounts, trade rumors swirl, and contract demands echo louder, all under the watchful eyes of Dub Nation and the NBA world at large. As a lifelong Dub Nation believer, my pulse is racing just writing this. But is this the spark that reignites our dynasty, or the crack that fractures our legacy? Drop your unfiltered takes. In the comments, I'll be right there, heart in hand. If your heart just skipped a beat thinking about what the next 5 minutes inside the Warriors locker room might look like, then welcome to the raw nerve of Dub Nation's biggest crossroads. Yet, because this isn't just about jerseys or contract numbers, this is about the soul of a dynasty on the brink of metamorphosis or meltdown. That cautionary fear twisting inside every true fan right now? It's real. Jonathan Kuminga's simmering saga is about to plunge us headfirst into the most volatile chapter of the Splash era, where every whispered trade rumor could blow up into a seismic earthquake shaking Chase Center's very foundations. Imagine the tension, Steve Kerr pacing like a caged lion, the weight of a once-in-a-generation championship core staring down the barrel of a transition they didn't quite ask for, but inevitably faced the kind of moment where legends have been forged or fallen apart. You look at Kuminga's blend of raw athleticism, streaky brilliance, and untapped potential, and wonder what if the Warriors front office is holding their cards so close they can barely breathe. Are they quietly stalking a bigger play, leveraging Kuminga as the ultimate chip to snatch that draft lottery diamond that might usher in the next ball of flame to carry this franchise's torch? Or have they reached a crossroads where loyalty to a player born under their banner clashes with the ball? Cold calculus of cap space, aging stars, and the creeping urgency that Steph's twilight era demands everything now? Curry, who just carried this team on his back season after season, faces the cruelest irony. While he's still the golden heartbeat, the decibel meter at Chase is now filled with questions about his support cast. Draymond's fiery leadership is as crucial as ever, but even his no-nonsense defense can't mask the vulnerability of a squad, flirting with major fractures beneath their shiny veneers. And then there's Kuminga 22, electric and restless, caught between the promise of a breakout and the frustration of feeling boxed in, as if his own trajectory has become hostage to front office chess moves and the ticking clock of NBA windows closing tighter by the day. The mounting reports about Sacramento's attempt to pry him loose reveal more than a tug-of-war between rivals. They spotlight the fissure developing inside the Warriors' carefully constructed ecosystem, forcing the question, is Kuminga truly untouchable? Or is the price just too damn high for a player who hasn't yet become the consistent game changer we all crave? And the Suns? Phoenix isn't just a casual suitor. They're a glaring symbol of the conference's realignment. A bold franchise shaking the West pecking order, eager to snatch pieces before the Warriors can reassemble or recalibrate. Their historical interest dating back to Durant trade chatter adds layers of intrigue that could rip open a trade scenario so complex and high-stakes it would reset power relations across multiple franchises. Picture the possible permutations. Rookie assets, cap juggling, sign-in trades that leave front offices sweating bullets and fans scrambling for clarity. Meanwhile, Steve Kerr's quiet public confidence masks a swirling storm. The man who masterminded this dynasty now must thread the needle between nurturing Kuminga's growth, lest he suffocate a young star's fire, and engineering a lineup that can still outpace the relentless Western Conference arms race. Even with Wiggins carving out his own redemption arc and Looney's steady grit anchoring the interior, there's a looming question. Will the Warriors' next championship window hinge on a Kuminga who breaks free from the shadows, or on a front office gamble that retools the roster's DNA? It's a puzzle wrapped in urgency. The Warriors' blueprint, once defined by splashy threes and suffocating defense, must evolve or evaporate under the pressure of their own legacy. The idea that Kuminga's next move could be the invisible crack fracturing that blueprint is terrifying, but, honestly, also electrifying because every dynasty faces its hard choices, and the Warriors are standing at that precipice, staring into the abyss where the fate of decades past confronts the genesis of what's next. Can you feel it? The cocktail of excitement, anxiety, and heartbreak twisting inside Dub Nation's collective chest as we grapple with the unknown? Steph, the heart of the franchise, is still raining those impossible threes as if defying time itself. But even his shot can't silence the rumbling beneath the surface. Kyrie's absence, Clay's role evolution, Moody's incoming hype all part of a mosaic painting of possibility and risk, but Kuminga's contract saga and the potential for seismic trades are the threads unraveling or binding this tapestry. And the emotional gravity of seeing a young talent like Kuminga, possibly on the cusp of departure, chills me to my core because this is more than just basketball. It's the reckless heartbeat of loyalty, ambition, and dreams that every fan has worn on their sleeves since the We Believe days. Remember those nights when mere belief turned into noise so loud it ignited the city? Now imagine that noise replaced by silence filled with questions. Can this core, battle-scarred and revered, integrate new blood without fracturing what's sacred? Can Kuminga break out of the chrysalis and deliver on his tantalizing flashes without becoming collateral damage in pursuit of another blueprint? And what about the front office players operating behind polished glass walls, calculating the cost of future glory against present pain? The stakes have never felt higher. As someone who has lived and breathed Warriors basketball through every glorious parade, every gut-wrenching loss, every moment of joy and despair etched deep into my soul, I can feel it fast approaching. A pivotal pivot, a crossroads that will settle the what-ifs and could-have-beens for years to come. It's messy, it's raw, it's unbearably real, and it's the kind of moment Dub Nation was born for. So now it's your turn. Drop your rawest, fiercest takes below. I want to hear the rage, the hope, the fear, no breathing room, no filters. Do you think the Warriors hold their ground and forge a new empire with Kuminga leading the charge? Or is this just a prelude to a rebuild masked as a renewal? I'm waiting in the trenches with all my receipts, ready to debate, to rage, to dream, because if this is the next lightning strike to shatter or galvanize our dynasty, we better stare it down with everything we've got. Let's go. Dub Nation, make some noise.